Shalom, Kohalayim, La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash, double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Shalom to you fellow laborers out there doing the work in truth and in sincerity, especially during these times. Shalom also to the few Akwaf that believe as well. A hearty shalom to you other laborers that are scattered abroad throughout the earth, and you believers also as well. Even if you're among the heathen, and even look like the heathen who are speckled bird Israelites to the household of faith, which is the elect, which is the elect. I want to say shalom. Excuse me. But I got you with another quick word of an edifying lesson, and you know, the son of perdition, all right, is at work again, all right, which that's Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man today. He's at work again. Now he's threatening to go into Nigeria. And this is by way of the elites, of course. And I'm gonna prove to you why this is the same old tactic they use during the so-called war on terror. Is because not only was the war on terror to submit the Ishmaelite nations, but also to steal the resources throughout the so-called Middle East, man, which is West Asia. And it's just the usual tactic of Esau, Edom, because it's in the power of his hands, man. Excuse me. So without any further ado, let's play this clip, and I got an article. All right, I want to read, and also I got the main thing they want to go into Nigeria for. I'm gonna bring it out, and Lord willing, is edifying. So let's play this real quick.
Now, President Donald Trump has threatened military action in Nigeria over alleged killing of Christians there. Trump threatened to send U.S. forces into Nigeria with guns blazing if Nigeria does not stem what he described as the killing of Christians by Islamists. Now, the U.S. president said he asked the Pentagon to map out a possible plan of attack. Trump's warning came a day after he has said that Christianity was facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Trump said if the Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians, the United States will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria. He then went on to mention the possibility of a military action to wipe out Islamic terrorists who are committing horrible atrocities. Now, Trump's Secretary of War, Pete Texas.
All right, that's it. And I'm going to say fair use, by the way. My videos are not monetized, only for literary and commentary purposes. He don't give a fuck about no Christians. That's, let's say what he's saying is true, okay? Islamic terrorists versus Christian. Okay, who gives a fuck? Okay. All right, this has been going on for, how long? Even the Dark Ages was, the Ishmaelite nations that was warring with, the Southern Kingdom primarily that was on that side of the world. All right. Hence, you have, the Moors or Morenos, the history of them, which were Israelites of the Southern Kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and they was warring with them Arab nations, so-called Arab nations, which are Ishmaelites, and you had a lot of that going on during the Dark Ages, man. So it's nothing new. All right, but they'll use that, as a means to justify going into Nigeria, because if that's the case, there's a lot of Palestinians that are so-called Christians. Why the fuck you allowing a genocide or slaughter over there on the Gaza Strip? See, this is the fucking hypocrite, man. Esau a fucking hypocrite. All right, matter of fact, if I ain't mistaken, you know what? Let me look it up. I want to go to Google. All right, bear me 1 second. Let's go. Let's see here. How many or how many Christians? Let's see here. How many Christians, or what percentage of Christians, I should say that. All right, let's see. What percentage, it's like it. What percentage of Christians are Palestinian? Yeah. Let me see. Excuse me. And you gotta, take this with a grain of fucking salt. All right, let's see. So they say it's a small percentage of Christians. Okay. This one say 20%. Some say 10, 20, 1%. You don't know the real results, but hey, I'm just looking it up, because I know you have Christians among them. Okay. So point is, all right, the point is there are Christians among the Palestinians, and they just indiscriminately bombing the Palestinians with the aid of America. All right, Babylon's assisting the Israeli or the IDF, all right, in indiscriminately bombing those Palestinians. All right, basically an ethnic cleansing, man. Okay, and there's no uproar about that. There's always been, in all those West Asia countries, there's always been sects of Christians, man. You have Muslims. You got now the region is predominantly, involved in Islam, but you have the pockets of Christians throughout that region as well. All right. Well, anyways, it says Nigeria rejects unilateral U.S. military intervention. Yeah, because he's eyeing Nigeria. Why? Because this is what Nigeria has to offer. Okay, which is the rare earth minerals. It says Nigeria has significant reserves of significant, meaning what, they have a large amount. Okay, of reserves of rare earth minerals, particularly in Nasarawa, Kogi, Benue, and Taraba states, and is actively developing its critical minerals sector to diversify from oil dependence. A major $400 million project is underway to build Africa's largest rare earth processing plant in Nasarawa State, which is in Nigeria, with a capacity of 18,000 metric tons annually, which is expected to boost the economy and create jobs. See? And, matter of fact, let's play this video clip.
Take the next step in treating your moderate to severe ulcerative colitis with Entyvio, the only gut-focused.
So the term rare earth elements, it refers to 17 chemically similar elements within the lanthanide series.
This is Professor Julie Michelle Klinger, a geographer and senior visiting fellow at the Institute for Human Sciences.
So if you can picture the periodic table, it's that bar at the bottom. Elements 57 to 71, plus scandium and yttrium.
I'm very, very happy to announce through your collaboration the establishment of the largest rare earth and critical metals plant in Africa, here in Nigeria. This is a $400 million investment, and I'm very, very happy on behalf.
So there you go, man. All right, I want to say fair use, by the way. I just want to bring that out, That's why they and in the rare earth minerals, they have a significant, reserves there, so they don't even know how much it's going to be worth. But they got a $400 million project going right now. And you got to remember, too, whoever controls the resources, they have the real wealth. And so you got to think about it. Who's in power right now? The Edomites. Beginning with Amalek, the wicked elites, man. Okay? And what they're doing, they're coveting the land of Nigeria because why? They have those rare earth minerals, man. And Esau, one of his blessings was what? He would enjoy the fatness of the earth, man. That's the resources, the wealth. Whether it be oil or real, rare earth minerals, right? Just like with Venezuela. Venezuela have, reserves of oil. They had like the top three. I think if I remember right, let me see. I think Venezuela had the top 3 or 5 in the world as far as oil reserves. Got a little tongue tied to lock it, but I had to think about that. Yeah, because Venezuela, pretty much when you look it up, right? Venezuela have a lot of things as far as you look at the oil and other things like lithium. Let me see here. Wait 1 second. Let me try to get this real quick. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I get this. Venezuela. Okay, check this out. Let me see. This is Venezuela. It has rare earth minerals. Also, mining and trade. Let me see. Let's see where. Venezuela has the world's largest proven oil reserves. So there you go, man. They got the largest. They got the largest oil reserves. Okay? Estimated at around 303 billion barrels, according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration. This puts Venezuela ahead of Saudi Arabia, which has about 267 billion barrels. All right. However, Venezuela's oil production has dropped from 137.9 million tons in 2013 to 34. Well, that's because of sanctions. All right, U.S. sanctions, man. Because of Esau, and then also the lithium. Hold on, let me get that. Let me get that real quick. Lithium. All right, the lithium, because like the lithium battery. Let me see. See, this AI giving something different. Okay, here we go. Yes, Venezuela is believed to have lithium deposits, which they do, though they are not yet a major producer. It's because they haven't tapped into it, and it's untapped. It's untapped reserves, okay? And they're close to the lithium triangle, Argentina, Bolivia, and Chile, okay? So because that whole region right there is rich in lithium, okay? And that's what they want to tell you. But the point is, which I'm going to get some precepts. I kind of been going into the information a little heavy, but the point is, and Lord willing, you look into the information yourself, but again, the point is, Esau is coveting these resources, man. All right. So this is Sirach 14:9. A covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion, right? Because the Most High put you in the ruling seat. Okay, you got the ruling seat, Esau. Why the fuck you in other people's land, okay, stealing resources when the Lord gave you everything that a ruler can have? You have the nations in subjection under you, even us, the Lord's chosen people. Everyone's subject to payments. Everyone basically is tributes to you. You pretty much got everything that a ruler can want or need. Okay? But it's not enough. Let's get this real quick. The book of Psalms, chapter 73. All right. In verse 7, it says, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. Right. What's the fatness? When you go to the blue letter, right? Fatness, that translates into riches, man. Let's get the blue letter. All right. Let me see. The word fatness is the Hebrew word is chalab. Chalab is the Hebrew word. It says fat of humans, beasts, which the point or the part it would be is C. Choicest, best part, abundance of products of the land. What's the products of the land? The resources. Okay. Strong's definition. To be fat, whether literally or figuratively, hence the richest or choice part of the land, remember? See? And that's Esau's blessing, man. When you go to Genesis 27, it goes into that. It says that let me get that real quick, man. You know? Genesis 27, starting at verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, now this is going into the blessing that Esau received from Isaac, right? It says, and Esau said to his father, which is Isaac, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said to him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. So the fatness of the earth is going to what? The same Hebrew word there, which I just went into. It should say, let me see here. Look, this Hebrew word different. It says, mashaman, fatness, fat piece, fertile place, richly prepared food, fatness, fat pieces, oil. They control the oil. Okay. B, fertile spots or places. See? And that's Esau for you, man. That's Esau for you. All right? Which is another, that's the Hebrew word, mashaman, or mash, or shamayan. It's another word for it. It says fatness of the earth. Okay? Which, again, that word still goes into what? The riches, all right, that comes from the earth, which is, the minerals or the resources that come from the earth, that translates into riches, man. You read the NLT, it says, finally, his father Isaac, I'm at verse 39. Finally, his father Isaac said to him, you will live away from the riches, you will live away from the richness of the earth and away from the dew of heaven above. So this dude, man, he got all the richness of the earth, man. The elites, the banking families, like they own America lock, stock, and barrel. They're all the tiny tops, the J people, man. The J to the ish people. They own everything, man. They got ownership of even the people. Right? They got if you got a fucking social security card and birth certificate and all that, them your bond papers. They have buns on us. See? This is why the Most High gonna have Yahweh Shai come back to recover the property that were stolen, which is us. See? But the point is, hey, Esau, hey, this man, he has everything the heart could wish, which the heart means the mind, and yet he wants more. He wants more. All right? He wants more. Let me go back to that. Shalakia. Let me go back to that. The book of let's go back to Sirach 14. Let me read that again. This devil, man. Sirach 14 and verse 9. The covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion, and the iniquity of the wicked drieth up his soul. Right, man. This man can never have enough, man. Oh, let's go to Habakkuk, man. Gotta get that. This dude can never have enough, man. So that, excuse me, that Christian and Muslim fighting one another, man, so what is happening? There's no new thing under the sun. So, I mean, who cares? It's always a distraction thrown out in the news to throw your mindset off of what's really going on behind the scenes. And if you're not paying attention to it, he basically, you'll believe his narrative that he spewed through his mainstream news media, man. Because he's always demonizing somebody. And then next thing you know, it's an intervention, a military intervention, and then, it turns to what? An occupation. And then the people always end up, in the crossfires, dying left and right. That's the wicked for you. Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Excuse me. Let me read it again. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Right? Because the soul of Esau, all right, is totally geared to do wickedness, man. Because he was created to be the wicked. So every time he approaches a people, he's not thinking about doing them any good. He's thinking about, raping and robbing and murdering, okay, to get whatever you have that he want. Verse 5, yea, also because he transgressed by wine, which is his philosophies and indoctrination and vain way of living, right? He is a proud man, neither keep it at home, who enlarges his desire is hell and is as death. And that's what's coming to Nigeria, man. If the so-called white man step foot in Nigeria, he is, believe you me, and them Nigerians, man, predominantly, them are predominantly Jake, man. Southern Kingdom Israelites, man. There's a lot of Nigerians go to the gym, man. Them Jakes, man. I don't care what tribe, Yoruba, Igbo, them Jakes, man. Them predominantly are Jakes, man. And then a lot of them know the Israelites too. Or Hebrews, okay? Hebrew what? Hebrew Israelites. But anyway, let's continue on. That's another subject for another day. It says, who enlarges his desire is hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations and heaping unto him all people. Verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a tunning proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that laid himself with thick clay. And the Hebrew word there for clay is a batyat, which means what? Heavy debts, man. And this man is in debt as far as, America's in debt, but the wicked elites, they're not in debt. No, though they use America to fight their wars and and invade these countries and go in there and rape, rob, and pillage. Look at Afghanistan. Afghanistan was a thriving. Afghanistan was a country that wasn't producing or manufacturing opium. But when America touched down in Afghanistan, guess what? Now Afghanistan is the number one producer of opium. And then you have the opioid crisis, man. See? Look at this. It used to be opium. Is it opium? Or poppy fields? Let me see here. Bear with me 1 second. Let me see here. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah. Yeah, opium. Okay. That's how you spell it. Okay. Opium production by country. See? It says Afghanistan is the world's leading producer of opium, accounting for a significant majority of global production. The country's opium harvest has historically produced the majority of illicit heroin and non-pharmaceutical opiates worldwide. Now check this out. The leading global producer of opium, responsible for over 90% of illicit heroin globally as of 2021 and over 95% of the European supply. The country, this is Afghanistan, by the way, the country has been the world's top illicit drug producer since 2001, which I really believe it was 2003 when they became, basically when America invaded it. When you look at the history up, okay, the country has been the world's top illicit drug producer since 2001. Which, like I said, when they touched down in Afghanistan about 2003, 2004, that's when the heavy opium production was, ramped up. Okay, just looking for more info on it. Yeah, man. Yeah, and yeah, you got on your own time, look it up. You'll see what I'm talking about. Nigeria rejects unilateral U.S. military intervention. Yeah, because they're looking to topple the government, because the government more than likely is doing business with China or Russia. All right, because they be in there doing business deals. All right, with the different countries within the continent of Africa for the resources, and America just want to, they just want to go in there and diva them, pretty much. But yeah, the president of Nigeria basically rejected that. Okay, but let's continue on reading Habakkuk 2:7. It says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Right. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, and this is America, man. Babylon the Great, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Right. See? And that's America, man, to the T. Okay? And why you're doing that? Because it's in the power of your hands, man. Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. See? This is why you're plotting to do an intervention or regime change, or just basically just murder, the president and leaders of Nigeria. And then what comes next? What comes next? Military come in there, murder who they can, set up a post. This is the usual tactic from the son of perdition, man. All right. Verse 2, and they covered fields, the different parts of the earth. See? Well, look at this. Verse 2 on the NLT. When you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. When you want someone's house, you take it by fraud and violence. You cheat a man of his property, stealing his family's inheritance. Exactly. The land that the Nigerians are controlling, that belongs to the Nigerian government and its people. But no, the big bad so-called white man, he even go in there and steal it for himself. That's why, man. Like I said in Habakkuk, hey, you spoil many nations, man. And now the scriptures, say this about you that spoil the nations, right? Isaiah 33:1. Woe to thee that spoilest, right? Woe means destruction. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. So at the end of the day, you're gonna be spoiled, man, for all the spoiling that you've done. This is why the judgments that's coming for Esau, Edom, all right, the Edomites, are so great, man. All the shit they've done in this earth, man, since they've been in rulership, man. Beginning with the Greeks, the Romans, the resurgence of the Roman, empire through the Renaissance and through America primarily. This devil have became great in wickedness and evil more in this time around, man. He's exceeded the wickedness and evil he's done in the past when he was the Greeks and Romans, as far as the Edomites, man. But that's okay. The Lord has a judgment for you, man. The Lord has a judgment for you, and it's gonna come, man. Again, 2 Thessalonians 2. All right, let me get that, and then I'm gonna close. I've been hold you too long, Shalaka, but Lord willing, you've been edified, man. You watching these news, pieces, man. You gotta dig into the whole matter, man, of what's going on. It's not over no fucking, Christians and Muslims, killing one another. That happens all the fucking time. In other case, what's been going on with if the Muslims killing the Christians? Well, what happened when you killing the Muslims? I thought, according to your constitution, you're free to practice any religion you want to, right? They've been murdering the Muslims left and right. I'm not on the Muslim side. I don't give a shit, nowhere, no way you look at it. But the point is, hey, if you care so much about Christians being slaughtered, well, what about the Muslims? What, you biased? See, Christianity is one of the most murderous religions in the world. Was it not Christians that raped, robbed, and murdered us for this land you call America? Anyways, 2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that men of sin be revealed. Right. Esau, Edom. That's the man of sin. Says the son of perdition. Yeah, the one who brings destruction, like it says in NLT, man. Because that's what he's all about, man. That's what he's known for, man. Let me get this and I'm gonna close, man. All right, this is what he's known for. John 10:10. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. And who's the thief of the earth, man? Or who's the great thief in the earth? I'm sorry. All right, the Edomites. Esau, Edom, man, and it's excuse me, and his descendants, his people. You know? That's who go around the earth stealing, killing, and destroying. This is why they call him the border of wickedness in Malachi, the 1st chapter, man. Nobody wants the Edomite coming into their land because they know trouble is on the way. It's only a matter of fucking time. You know? But he want to play the victim role all the time. When you're the villain, man. You know? But hey, it's gonna come to a end. All right? Soon. Because the Lord is ready to destroy you, Esau. You're up on deck to be brought down. You know? And the earth is going to rejoice, man, when you fall. The people, they're going to cry for a moment because why? They was getting rich off you. As far as, the rulers, those different governments. But at the end of the day, they're going to have a way better under the Israelites. All right? When we rule and start with, of course, the only begotten, Yahweh Shai, and then, the elect of the nation of Israel. But until then, this is what we gotta, witness and watch, man. The son of perdition at work. So, that was other precepts I could have got, but I didn't want to keep you this long, but man, hopefully you were edified, man. With that, all praises and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash, and shalom to the Lord's elect, man. And I'll see you next video, Lord willing. Shalom.